Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. As you guys are tuning in, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to our beautiful channel. As you guys can see here in the top corner of the screen, where we at, up here, going up, you guys will be able to see my P&L, my profit loss on the day. And today, our profits, right, because we are green, we're up $1,569.48. After about 100 orders, we're probably going to get charged like 10 to 15 bucks in fees. Now, with that being said, these are still gross gains because we still have to pay Uncle Sam at the end of the year, and that amount will vary, of course, as you guys know, depending on state, income bracket, and other variables. So, Relentless Trader will not be spending $1,500 today, not even close, right? He still has to account for Uncle Sam. So let's talk about the stocks that I traded today, the entries that I took, and how I was able to capitalize. Because, a lot of people, when they come across the markets, it all comes down to the same thing. Hey, where do I buy? Where do I sell? That's usually the typical question that you'll hear from someone who's a little newer, looking to learn. So let's talk about where I bought and where I sold. Now, unfortunately, we don't have live recording from today because I forgot to hit record on OBS. So I will not be able to study, and the MMU students, my students, will not be able to study from my recording as well. But luckily, there's two mentors, two teachers. So shout out to Mighty Stocks Marcelo. We'll be watching his archives tonight when we review and study up. So coming down, let's go to positions. There's 4 stocks that we traded. JZXN, we'll start with this one. Unfortunately, down $200. Guys, this was a very, very good stock, I felt, but we had some bad fills. So in terms of patterns, and it's been a while since I've used my EpiPen, today's a good day to bring it back. The first pattern that I'm watching here for is the U-shape red to green. Literally, as we're looking at the chart in the color coding, right? The color coding here is going from red candlesticks to green candlesticks, right? Red candlesticks to green candlesticks. So that's hence the name red to green, right? These are global names, worldwide known names, famous names for these patterns. So we initially push up, but it's a false break. It doesn't quite rip through the highs and continue going. So, okay, we're watching this area as we retest. So we're coming into VWAP over here, and this time around, we do push through. It pulls back initially, and then surges up. So when we get the surge, when we get the push, when we get the capitulation, follow through, and we start to move, and we start to hold above the previous highs, this is where I got excited and really and truly started getting involved, right in this area here. Now, I'm in and I'm out a couple of times as the stock is going higher, and kid you guys not, I thought I was already up about 1,500 just in this move here alone. I looked back down to where my profit or loss is on the chart, right down here, and at the time I was green $400. So I'm like, what in the world happened? So what it lets me know is that where I thought I was buying, the broker, the software that I'm using to buy and sell here, actually was putting me in a little higher. So you could even say they were robbing me. Yes. So when I'm thinking I'm buying, let's say at 5, they're putting me in at 505, and I'm losing that difference every single time for like 5 to 10 trades in a row, and it adds up quickly. When it's all said and done, I'm only up 470. I should have been up like 1.5. So it pulls back, and I start to now have losing trades. So we at least need to be winning the battle on one front. Picture a war, picture a battlefield. It's me versus the market. But when it's me versus my broker versus the market maker versus the market, I'm only one man. There's only so much I can do here. So, sometimes if you're losing on more than one front, sometimes you have to retreat, pull back. And before I went red, if you guys listen to the live stream, I already said there's a chance I go red here, because I understand the progression of things. Now, with me saying that, it wasn't guaranteed that I would be red, because I'm still trying my best here, putting forth my best effort. And so I tried to buy here as this was pulling back. It went lower, and this was a big drop, guys. This was a huge pullback. Usually we don't want the pullbacks to be this big. We go from a high of 568 to a low of 498. Why are we dropping back till down here? You know, you'd think it'd be better. Okay, we made a nice move. We pulled back, let's say, to like 530, 525, and we hold up here and we get a tighter flag, and we consolidate and then try to go higher. Instead of pulled all the way, like why is this drop so big? So usually, to be honest, whenever the stocks pull back this much, I usually get caught off guard because it's just such a big drop down. But anyhows, it curls all the way back up to 60, and then all the way back down to $5 again. So the range is what really got me, and I started to then have losing trades. Even in these areas, still had some higher fills. And so as a result, from green 460, 470 to red. So that was a $600 loss over a couple of trades. Very disappointing. Very disappointing indeed. Moving on. Moving forward. So on a good day, if we are really to connect and we're on the positive side of things, let's say, we're probably green another 1,000 to 1,500 on this stock. SNAL, green 106. And you can see this one is a little choppy. So let's pull up the show trades because I can't remember exactly where I got involved here. Let's see. So initially, we had a break of 17, so I'm in at 23. Small 1 cent gain. It pulls back here to a low of 17. I'm in at 20, out at 22. Small gains, needed to do a better job holding longer to be in and selling a little higher, giving it more room to work. But I did mention that I'm skeptical of holding it longer because we're below this white line. This white line happens to be VWAP, volume weighted average price, which is another very popular indicator, right? Going back all the way to guys like Tim Sykes, right? VWAP. So this thing ends up double topping here, pulls back, curls back up, rejects, not much. And from time to time, you guys will hear me call out a few popular YouTubers' names. I never took a course, but I watched everybody in the world, and shout out to all these people who are doing well, right? To the clay traders, the beginner traders. There's a guy named Beginner Trading John. He's a great guy too. Humble Trader, all these people, great resources. So, whilst you don't need to pay for a course, you can scour the internet and be like a scavenger, which is what I did, to be able to become successful. Now, if you do take a course, the information is just organized, easy to digest, progressive, at least my course is, right? Because I have a course nowadays. So for those of you out there who value time, right? If you value time and you don't want to be scavenging the entire internet for something good, and you want it all in one place, be sure to check out MMU, Merciless Markets University. This is the day trading course that I have, and yes, I am highly qualified. Both myself and my business partner and friend Marcelo, we are 2 six-figure traders. In fact, let's put some respect on Marcelo's name. After a 10K day Monday, 11K day Tuesday, 8.7K day Wednesday, and another 1.5K day or so today, this guy is essentially a millionaire trader. Let's put the respect on his name. You guys can check out his YouTube channel at Mighty Stocks. At Mighty Stocks, ladies and gentlemen. At Mighty Stocks is the man. Check him out. This is your other teacher and mentor. And yes, he also speaks Spanish. So if you're a Spanish individual, we got your back here. We got your back. All right. So we do offer a ton of things, 10 of these things right here. You guys can pause the video to read it. But yes, mentorships, live trading, live low latency trading, chat room access, inner circle chat room access, archives, Q&As, lectures, and of course the beautiful course itself, which you guys can check out down here. Hold on, there we go. The curriculum. We got about 32 chapters right now, right? So to get off the topic of courses and to get back into now to recap again, I gotta shout out my course, right? Shameless plug, because again, I'm credible. There's a lot of people who cannot say that they're credible And I am very credible, so I'll always say that. I live stream. I'm so credible that I live stream my trades every day in front of an audience of like 500 plus people. So moving on. SNPX, small green, 62 bucks. Another disappointing loss for me here in terms of missed opportunities. This is a resumption. It's a little bit of a higher risk entry and trade, but it does offer opportunity. So a circuit breaker halt occurs when a stock is going up too fast in a short amount of time. It's essentially the exchange saying, hey, traders, take a breath, breathe, and then will allow you guys to trade again, like make decisions, right? And this is also in place so that the market doesn't crash really and truly when there's a lot of panic selling. There's a pause. It can be 5 minutes or more, right? It's usually on 5 minute intervals. And there are different halt codes, not to get too deep into it. But when it comes to the entirety of the market getting halted, right? Like the SPY, the NASDAQ, every index, every stock, if there's a market-wide sell-off, sometimes there can be a pause up to a day or even more, right? Depending on the situation, there's different halt codes. So it's really and truly to prevent panic selling and even, an unreasonable amount of strength to the upside, right? There needs to be sort of a balance in a sense. So that's why it's in place. So this stock was going up too fast, too quickly, halts up at 137, resumes all the way up at 170. So yes, if you are an individual who were in early and holding, when it resumes, it's like instant extra profits. So imagine yourself 1,000 shares. Let's do some mathematics 101 here for those of you guys who are very new. This is how the math works in day trading, right? So let's pull up a calculator and I'll guide you guys, all right? So buckle up. So this thing makes a new high over 129, so 130, right? It gets halted up at 137. So let's say you buy 1,000 shares worth, right? 1,000 shares at 1.3 is 1,300 bucks. So you're using $1,300 of your personal money to buy some shares of this stock, right? So from 130, we go up to 170, which is a 30-cent difference. So your 1,000 shares is then multiplied by 0.03, well, excuse me, 0.3, 1,000 times 0.3 for 30 cents. Boom, 300 bucks. This is how much money you could have made in this area, in this hypothetical situation, right? Now, with that being said, let's not forget the risk, because a lot of people just talk about the stocks going up. What happened if this stock just went like this? This is what, if the stocks go down, we pride ourselves on keeping tight stops. We have something called a risk to reward. Risk to reward. If I take on an investment, it doesn't even have to be related to stocks. If I'm going to go buy a property, if I'm going to go start a business, what are my margins going to be? So this is why we say day trading is a business. You have to treat it as such. What is my margin going to be if I buy this stock at 130? And, what are the expectations? Usually our daily charts give us an insight to expectations. Market sentiment give us an insight to expectations. Look at this, right? So in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you guys will see that this stock has actually been a little weaker. It's been selling off. If we go back over a few years ago, it's been, we have had high of 14, but then it's been down, down, down. And recently, on December 15th of last year, it had a big drop. And it came down to a high of 175 and a low of 108. So I said, you know what, 175 seems like an interesting level. And I mapped out that level around 9:15 a.m. Look at where the stock went, 188 and then back down. So very close in proximity to that 175 area. We even had candlesticks come up there closely and reject. Right here, reject, 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 reject. And even this going down provides opportunity, not to get into short selling, but yeah, so, this is how my analysis is working. This is what I'm looking for. And so this gave me an insight that this thing could go as high as 75. So on the resumption, it pulled back slightly to a low of 60, and I'm in and it rips up to 79. I'm in at 60, out at 79, 3,000 shares, making about $570. And then I botched the trades after that. This is where I am the variable as the trader. The patterns are the patterns, the strategy is the strategy, but I allowed my aggression to get the better of me. I already knew resistance was in this area. And I said, you know what, I'm going to take more trades. And so I bought right here, and boom, big red. I got back in at like 80, and it boom, flushed down on me at 60. And what's even more disappointing is that I had this stock on my other screen like this, this screen right here in particular. I had it right here. I had two windows open with two different level of share size. So if you guys look right up here, this is where my share size is. This is where I determine, hey, do I want to take 100 shares worth, 1,000 shares worth? How much of my equity, my personal cash do I want to go in with? And I decided 1,500 because this area of 75 is a little risky. But you know what? I should have just left it alone. But I made the mistake, right? I had 3,000 worth over here, and I had 1,500 worth over here. And I clicked this window by accident. And so I went back in with 3,000 and basically gave back all the gains I had. So from like $600 to $60, and you could only imagine my frustration in the moment. You know, what are you gonna do? So I smiled, and I moved on with my day because that's the only thing I can do. If I had a time machine, I'd go back in time and slap myself 2 times, but I can't do that. So I smiled and I moved forward with my day because I pride myself on being a disciplined trader. So as we jump back down, this thing rejected. And for those of you who are a little bit more advanced and understand short selling, this is where as a short seller, you can make your money. Short selling is when you're buying the stock hoping for it to go down. And if you know it's weak here and there's resistance and you're in at 75, you're just waiting for it to go down. Let's see how far it went. Look at that. It went down to 96 cents. So if you're a short seller, you're in at 75 and you're holding this overnight, right now you're up 80 cents. If you go back to that 1,000 share example, you're up $800 and you're smiling right now because you're hoping for it to go down even more tomorrow morning and into the open tomorrow. So that's how, as a short seller, you can essentially make money. I had shares available to short. I didn't even realize, my broker is telling me, hey, it's hard to borrow HTB right here. But I'm on Thinkorswim's hard to borrow list. So sometimes even when a stock is hard to borrow, I'll still be able to buy the stock in hopes for it to go down to make money, right? So it's essentially the proper terminology is shorting, and covering. So essentially, getting in here, coming out here for a gain. Yes, you can do that. If you didn't know, now you do. But with all of that being said, remember that day trading is, of course, extremely risky. Day trading is extremely risky, all right? Do not trade with money that you cannot afford to lose, all right? It's better to use risk money, a small amount of cash. If you lose it all right here, right now, it does not affect your livelihood or your lifestyle. Also consider using a simulator, that's where you practice trading the live market with artificial currency, all right? Do not try to copy trade me. That is a recipe for disaster, all right? Lastly, remember, I do not invest money for my subscribers. So be careful with fake accounts, impersonating accounts. I will never ask you for money, personal information. I'll never ask you to click on a weird link. I will never ask you any of that nonsense. I don't do mirror trading, options trading, none of that nonsense. Telegram, WhatsApp, I don't use any of that stuff. Stay safe out there. So lastly, the big potato, the main course. And for those of you watching to this point, I think this is an excellent recap here so far. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. All right. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. The stock of the day for me was SXTP. And I started off the day in the first 11 minutes of the open. The first 11 minutes of work, I was able to make about $2,000 on this stock. And as you guys saw, the other stocks kind of came later in the day, fumbled those opportunities. We should have been up 3,000 plus today, but we kind of, made some mistakes. So again, this is a resumption trade. And I do use an instrument called Level 2, which is like an order book. It shows me where prices are going in and out in the moment, real time. And so Level 2 acts as a lower time frame chart because of course data is coming through live and in a very quick manner. So let's say at the beginning of the new minute at 9:40 a.m. and 0 seconds, 9:40 a.m. and 0.01 seconds, I'm seeing orders going through and time is of course progressing. So after 5 to 10 seconds to 15 seconds, 20 seconds and so forth has passed, I know what the stock is doing based off of the buying and selling that's coming in and out and our, of course, market price. So it's essentially history, right? But all within the confinement of a 1-minute candlestick. So the level 2 is essentially a 10-second chart, a 30-second chart, a 5-second chart. It's all of that in one, as long as you're understanding how to read it and you have the experience. So at that point, it comes down to execution. We were halted up at 7:59. The stock opens up higher at 7.97 and it pulls back down all the way down here to 7.60. And a Relentless trader said, you know what? There is a lot of risk here, but I am going to try and take a trade. And I bought, and the stock just ripped back up. And almost in the blink of an eye, I'm up $2,000. This is a high level maneuver. It's a high risk maneuver. In fact, I think halt resumptions are amongst the highest risk trades, along with trades in the first minute of the open and the last minute heading into the close. The volatility and range is incredible and it is incredibly risky. So you have to be disciplined, you have to be sharp, you have to be quick, and it is not an easy trade to take. In fact, day trading itself has never been easy. It never was, it never will be. But it can be done. And so I was able to capture an opportunity. So that was the sum of it, right? That's the size of it. That was the day. If you did enjoy this wonderful recap, be sure to hit the thumbs up. And for our sponsors, be sure to check out Momo Pro. This is where I find all the hot stocks. Also in the Discord, I find some stocks in the Discord and YouTube live stream call out. So subscribe to the channel, join the Discord. These are all places you'll be able to find hot stocks. All right, so Momo Pro, code Relentless for 25% off for 6 months. All right, check it out. Also, be sure to check out the Discord as just mentioned, where you guys can get, to join the action, join the community, have some fun, and really and truly have a good time being a part of something bigger than yourself. There's no other place in the world where you can send a message to a profitable trader and even get on a phone call with them and video calls and screen shares and much, much more. All right, guys. So lastly, to end it off, I'm going to upload to my trader view and then we will be out, as they say in Canada. All right. Quite the recap here today, man. I'm on fire. I'm on fire right now. So TraderView is the platform that I use to track and map all my metrics. It's a pretty good software, but in terms of feedback or criticism, it is a little bit buggy, right? I've noticed over the years, at least on 3 to 4 occasions, where it has reflected inaccurately on individual days. So you'll have to go back and try to remove data and then re-import data. But again, only about 3 or 4 times over the years I've been using it. So it's a good software, and I am a sponsor of them. Is that how you say it? They're sponsoring me rather, and I do have some codes you guys can use for some lovely discounts. All right. So let's import and let's take a look, and then we'll shut it down. So export to file. In fact, calendar, when was the last day we uploaded? The 12th. So yesterday, we'll come back and we'll re-import from the 12th. All right. Export to file, save in documents, lovely. Import, upload, documents. We'll select that file that we just saved, or downloaded rather. And here it is, open, upload. Talking about the discrepancy in TraderView, there was one that has happened recently where I had a $2,500 green day and it's marking as $4,500. So I'll have to fix that. I'll have to see. In fact, I do have a contact. I'll message him and see what he can do. I haven't checked to see if there's a way to remove the data. The last discrepancies that I had, the other three, it was very strange. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a price bump, but it's not. If you use the platform, you guys will know. But anyhow, whether or not my P&L is reflected by an extra 5,000 or not is meaningless. I mean, if we go to our detailed section here, there's almost $250,000 here, right? So yeah, point taken, right? Moving on. So here's where we are on the month. Again, minus about 2,000 off this high. And let's come back down to calendar. Guys, it's been a beautiful, beautiful month so far, and we're looking to keep it up. We're looking to continue to trade well. And if the market can continue to give opportunities, we will be aggressive. Now, for those coupon codes that you've been waiting on, let's pull them up. Let's pull them up, shall we? I do not have them on standby, which isn't great. Here, I'll send it to myself via Discord. I think that's the fastest way. And then we'll end off this very beautiful but yet long recap. For those of you who are watching till the end, type down below disco ball. Disco ball. Type disco ball down below. And hit that thumbs up if you have not already. It's such a beautiful day here today. It's always a beautiful day. You know what? Let's pose them on the entire floor. Boom, boom. And this way we can pull it up in Discord. All right. Here are the codes. So you guys can screenshot this. I'll also put it in the description down below. I'll catch you guys in the next recap. Stay safe, stay green. It's been your favorite YouTuber, Relentless Trader. I am signing out.